Hello. This is my first screencast, and I'm going to be talking to you about an app that I feel I'm also in love with. By the way, I've only had it on my phone for about 3 days, but I'm in love with it thus far. And I feel like this app, after looking at it and messing with it for the past 3 days, could be very, very useful in a classroom setting. Now, the app that I'm talking about is called the Pocket app. That's what it's called. It's called the Pocket app. Originally, it was called by another name, but because that program that it initially was a little outdated, they changed it and they revamped it. So now it's the Pocket app. Now, what the Pocket app was initially created for was so that, say, like you are surfing the web. You're surfing the web, or you're on your phone, and you come across an article or video or something that you want to look at, that you want to read in full. You just want to digest it completely. You want to digest it fully. And you just don't have the time to. You don't have the time to pore over this article like you really, really want to. Or you just don't even have time to even glance at it, like to glance at the summary. Well, that's what Pocket app is for, and it is so that you can take that article in whatever platform, on your iPhone, on your Android or Samsung, on your e-reader, your computer, PC, all of that stuff Pocket is compatible with, and you can save it, like to save it for later, like by putting it in your Pocket app. And what Pocket does is it takes that article or that video and it cleans it up for you. And I'll show you that in a moment. But let me get on the Pocket screen. This is my home page. I've already logged in and I've already set up my account, but this is my home page. And what the Pocket app does is really, really amazing to me, because not only can I take things that I've seen on the internet and save them to read for later, but based on the articles that I read, it will recommend other articles for me in that same format, which is where the classroom comes in, because kids grow up thinking that nonfiction books are only meant to be referential for their assignments or for a project they need to do or for something they need to learn in class. They see it more as an informational text than they do as something to enjoy and to just take pleasure in. And I feel like this, by allowing them to read these articles that they like, and to share it, and would be really influential in getting them to read. Because some people, they're just not good with fiction. They don't do so well with the fictional platform, and they want something real and tangible, and they want something different. And these articles are, sometimes they're really long, or sometimes they're short, and they're just about intriguing topics. Like this one, why the 8-hour workday doesn't work. That headline hit me immediately. I was like, I wonder what that's about. And when I click on it and I have it here, you'll notice that it's very, very clean. When I first saw it, there was all kinds of ads, advertisements, cookies, you name it, little buttons that if you ran your mouse across it, it would make something display in the center of the screen. It was just a mess. But when I saved it to the Pocket app, I get it in this nice, clean-cut format, and I don't have to worry about all that extra stuff. So, and look, all the information I need is up there. Who wrote it, when it was published, or when I accessed it, and like the best way to structure your day. A study recently conducted. And now, another thing that the Pocket app does is that if you do have a Pocket app and other people have Pocket apps, then you can share articles between you and another person. Now, as a teacher, it's very possible, when a kid comes up to you and they don't know what they want to read, they don't know. You ask them, well, what are you interested in? And they can't tell you, or they knock down everything in front of you. Well, this is the opportunity where you can ask them, well, look at this website, go sign up for this, it's free, and just scroll and pick some things that you like or that you're interested in. And, then just briefly tell me about what you read. and that would tell me that they were finding things that they were interested in and then they were reading them. Now, the only problem with this is, as you'll notice at the bottom here, they're coming from websites like BuzzFeed and Forbes and addthis.com, and sometimes those might not be the most reliable of sources to use, so that you have to watch, you have to be careful, but I still think it'd be a really great app to get them at least reading, and reading more nonfiction especially. Now I want to show you how it works. Now let's say you're just surfing on the web or on your phone and you find an article. I already found one, the American Thinker, and it says the American left is evil, Orlando shooting. I decided to go with the Orlando shooting because it's something that's very it's very dominant of the news feed right now. Everybody's talking about it and everybody's going on about it, which is understandable. And I guess I decided that I really, really want to read this article, but I don't have time to, or I want to save it for later to use or to show somebody. Now I go to the share over here, and look, there's Pocket right there. Pocket's already there for me, and you just click on Pocket. Now there will also be a format or a button on your mobile device that will allow you to sign it to Pocket as well. And since I've already been logged in on the browser, it says you've successfully saved this to Pocket. And I can add a tag where you can arrange something by genre. So I'm just going to call this Orlando shooting tag. So, sorry, that's my dog. And, alright, and then I have that tag on there. And if you want to see it immediately, you can do that, or you can go back to it, but we're just going to go back to it. And it refilled, and I want to go back to this, and it's been about, let's say, 12 hours since I last viewed it, and I go through my feed, and I'm like, oh, hey, that's right, I wanted to read that article. And I go down, and there it is, and look at the difference. Just look at all, there's all these different article, blog posts, all kinds of stuff on the side. And if I found a worse article, there'd be all kinds of stuff in this white space over here, all kinds of stuff. And then when I get it in Pocket, it's just this clean cut, just beautiful version of an article. That's the way I like it, simple. And it even keeps the links in it. It keeps the links that you could go to other articles, so you could probably get lost in the Pocket app if you're not careful. I've almost gotten lost in it twice, just going from link to recommended article to recommended article. And look, now I'm at another one. Tea Party wants to see Black Americans hanging on a tree. That looks interesting. Now let me see if I can save it to Pocket. Sometimes it doesn't have that platform set up yet. See, this one only has a limited amount of platforms, but as the Pocket app is just gaining in popularity by the day, I feel like it will soon be one of the predominant ones with Facebook and Twitter and messaging, email, and whatnot. And it's also, this is a Fox News, so they're going to be a little tougher to get on all those extra platforms. Alright, I'm going to X out of that. And then up here you have the option to delete, and you can archive it and whatnot. Now let's see, if I go to my recommended screen, and you'll go to your recommended screen, it'll just throw articles at you. Just tons and tons of articles about different topics. Japan's worst kept breakfast secret. Now that is intriguing me. What in the world is Japan's secret about their breakfast? I'm just dying to know. Okay, extracrispy.com. Now that's loading up. We're getting out of this article here. We've already seen what we need to see. My internet's being really slow right now. Okay, but yes, it brought up that article, and I can decide whether or not I want to keep it, or if I want to save it for later. And I do want to save it for later. And you have the opportunity to hide it from your news feed, or copy the URL for later. Alright, and then you have this. You can see your inbox, and that's where you'll be sending messages and other articles to other people with accounts. Now, so you can look up videos. Let's see. Let's say I want to look up science. No results found. Okay. Okay, I'm guessing, because I was able to do it earlier. Maybe it's just the fact that I put science in there. But earlier I had put, I think a genre that I really enjoyed, probably something about I put in something about a celebrity, and it brought up a bunch of celebrity articles for me. But that's pretty much all you need to know to get set up on Pocket. And again, I just want to hammer into that this would be an excellent app to get kids reading more. And I mean, it doesn't even have to be that they're reading more nonfiction, or just the fact that these are small articles. They can be anywhere from really small to a few pages, but they're touching on, realistic issues, the political debates, or just new and interesting things that they're swapping between each other. And if you could get it set up where, you could actually send them an article that you think all the kids could read, and then they say, they all have Pocket app on their phone, they could read it when they go home, and then you could discuss it when you come in the next day, rather than printing off a bunch of copies of the article. The possibilities are endless with this, and I am just in love with it, and I hope you'll be in love with it too.